everybody, Q&A session. Canines of customs. Here's one of these ones where I don't like the way you're asking the question in terms of its DNA because it's confusing. So I'm already confused at what your dogs are, but here's what you said. I have a blue tri-merle triple tri-carrier female. Now, what is that? That's the question because we need to know that. So when you start saying things like tri-carrier, it means it carries three things of something. Well, what are those three things? Is it chocolate and cream and blue? I don't know. And so I'm going to assume that it is that. So we're just going to go off that you've got, well, you've got a blue, so we know it's not one of the blue. So blue triple carrier. What are we going to say? I mean, I don't know. Bred to a lilac tri-male. Again, I don't know. I mean, so, you know, it's hard for me to answer this question, folks. If you told me the DNA or specifically what the dog carries, I'd be able to answer it accurately. So let's just have a stab at this anyway. A blue dog that's a merle, bred to a non-merle dog that carries blue, half the litter will be blue and half the litter overall will be merles. Now, if it's a tri-carrier, then we're going to talk about tan points. If they're both carriers of tan points, I don't know whether they're 80. The answer is you expect 1/4 of the litter to have tan points if they're both carriers of tan points. And also, if you look at things like cocoa or cream, again, if both of them are carriers, each of them gives out that particular gene half the time. Half and a half is a quarter. A quarter of the time, those puppies will express that particular color. Not a very good answer, but not really great information to get that done. So, okay. Somebody's saying thank you for the valuable information. You're very welcome. The Bourbon Man. I have a new shade Isabella tan with one copy of Pied. Okay. So a new shade Isabella tan. I think what you're saying here is that you've got a dog that's little b, little co, little co. But what gives? Why is this bad? Just don't want to breed to another pied male. No. There's no. I get this quite a bit where people are worried about breeding pieds to pieds, and I think there's something terrible is going to happen. The only issue with breeding pieds to pieds is if you have a dog that's an extreme pied, a dog that has very little, is almost exclusively white throughout its whole body, specifically its head, ears and eyes are white, and a predominantly white body. Those dogs can tend to have problems with hearing. So the advice is generally don't breed that pied to another pied or pied carrier and avoid the whole situation completely. But if you have a regular pied dog and you breed it to another regular pied dog, you're going to get pied puppies. They'll all be pieds. If you breed a pied carrier to a pied carrier, 1/4 will be pieds. If you breed a pied to a pied carrier, 1/2 will be pieds. I love these dogs. Nothing wrong with it at all. Don't worry about it. Just did an AR on my female at 26.4. She's got a split heat, almost missed it. Do you think the possibly she took? You're a bit late if they're doing a vaginal. You should have done a vaginal a day earlier, so you're a day late. You really would have been better off if you've done a TCI or a surgical, but it's in the hands of the gods now, so you'd have to wait and see what happens. With any luck, you'll get a litter. Somebody's talking about a C-section. It says, how long, happy pause, how long does it take to recover? No, sorry. This is about swimmer syndrome, sorry. Swimmer syndrome. How long does it take to recover? You keep the tape on. Look, here's the deal. You put the tape on the back legs, mom and the other puppies, and that puppy will take the tape off. Within 12 hours, it'll be hanging off the puppy anyway. If the puppy's now getting up and walking around properly, you're done. If it's not, put the tape back on again. Keep that going. Some dogs, if you catch it late, it might take you 10 days to get this fixed. Some dogs, if you catch it early, maybe a couple of days and it's fixed. Non-tin-todo. I wish you would reply. My female tested and the result was 6.45. Retested 3 days later, she was at 8.45. Why do you think she's rising so slow? It should be double the number. Well, so normally what you'd expect is once you get to a level of 5, and it depends on the machine you're using, by the way, as to because some IDEX, which is a typical machine you see in vets' offices. When dog gets to 5, we consider that to be ovulation. The next day, typically, it's an 8, and the day after, that's a 15. It goes up about 70% a day after they get to ovulation. But I've done videos on this, and you can have dogs, especially younger dogs, that have prolonged and split heat cycles. Prolonged heat cycles that take a long, long time before they start going up, Or split heat cycles, they're going up, and then all of a sudden they go back down, they're at a low level, then they start back up again. One of those two things, you just got to test your way through it. Jessica Pierce Kelly, everything I know about Frenchies is thanks to you two. Oh dear, you don't know very much then, do you? Anything that you do for mum blowing her coat? Yeah, this happens. She blew her coat badly. She looked rough when it came to selling those pups. Yes, she started to shed again, and I hate to see her looking so rough. And also, potentially buyers think we're not taking care of mum because she looks so bad. Yeah. So, yes. So, yeah, I mean, look, I don't have a solution. I think that the only things that you can do in this situation are good quality food, vitamins, and get her out in the sunlight and give her some exercise. Of which that probably not going to make much difference. You know, if you think of it this way, what's going on is when a mammal, humans or whatever, have babies, that those babies come from them. They are made out of their body. So yeah, you put nutrition in so they can turn that nutrition into puppies or offspring. And if they've got not a very good quality or enough food, then they're going to have bad consequences. And specifically in large litters, it really is a big drawdown on mum, and she's going to blow a coat. I mean, it's just very, very common. All of a sudden, her coat looks pretty crappy. And that typically happens about, week 6, you start seeing, week 5, week 6, you see this coat starting to thin out. And it can look pretty rough, especially if you've got a kind of a dog with not a very thick coat in the first place. Not much you can do about it. She'll recover from it. She'll be fine. But just vitamins, good quality food, and just go from there. And there's no magic elixir that you're going to put on there. There's nothing, medicated shampoo or anything like that's going to make any difference that I'm aware of. So you just got to work your way through it. I know it's just a bit distressing when you see a beautiful dog not looking so beautiful for a bit, but it'll come back. I had Chihuahua puppies. This is Kathleen Rayner. Born silver and dark silver. As time goes by, the puppies will be blue fawn. My mum bounced back right after having a litter of 5. Excellent health. My question, should I breed her back to back with the next litter? May have a neutered after that next litter. Thank you both for fantastic help. Okay, so first thing is, if you are going to neuter a dog, don't do it at the time you're doing a C-section. It's a huge mistake. It puts a way bigger load on the dog. Her milk might not come in properly. She may not be feeling so crappy that she doesn't want to nurse the puppies. Don't. The reason that you're going to do this is you've decided, look, this is it. We're done. We're going to neuter the girl while we're there doing the C-section. There's no extra cost to remove the uterus. And the problem with this is that there is an extra cost in terms of burden on the female. And I would not do this. And I have been in a situation where I did this to a Chihuahua and had bad consequences. I learned my lesson. And the vet advised me to do it, and it was poor advice. Don't neuter at the same time as a C-section. Wait until she's weaned her puppies, she's back to a regular healthy self, and then do the neuter. That's the first thing. The second thing is, should I do back-to-back breedings? I have a whole video on this, and I think this is called, if you put in the word unethical in my videos, you'll see it, and it's not about unethical. It's just there as a teaser line. But the short answer is this. If the litter was successful, if there was no adhesions or cysts of anything significant when you did the C-section that could get you worried, if she bounced back from looking at the normal weight fairly quickly after having her puppies, go ahead and do it the next time. If any of those things are not true, you either need to give her a break or stop breeding her. And talking about goat's milk and feeding puppies. How do you know what amount to feed them? My puppies are not really taken to mum's milk. They suck for a little bit. 3 minutes after that, they give up. I don't know how much they're getting and how much I should be bottle feeding them. Well, okay, so this is really a bit more. So it's a good question. So how do you know? Well, the answer is you weigh the puppy. If you weigh your puppies and they're gaining ½ an ounce a day for the first week of their life, they're gaining ½ an ounce a day, you're in the right place. If they're not getting ½ an ounce a day, then you need to supplement. How much do you give? You weigh the puppy in ounces and you give that in cc's or milliliters. 10-ounce puppy gets 10 mils every 3 hours. And then look at the puppy's belly and see how, if the puppy's already got a little bit of a belly on it because it's got some milk from mum, back off on those numbers. If the puppy's not been nursing, it's got a sunken in tummy, give them the whole amount. And if you're in doubt on this, you may not be able to do it in your situation because they're not wanting to nurse properly, but if you can get a puppy to nurse, mark the bottle with a black felt tip marker before you start feeding. Feed the puppy till it's had enough, and then make another mark, and then measure how many ounces you had. You'll know what that puppy's been taking, and that's about the right amount if the puppy's got a nice fat belly. Puppies can take a huge amount of milk before they get in trouble. Their bellies can get really big. If you're nursing a puppy and its belly's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, at some point stop. Don't overfill it. And that's a good 10 minutes of your time taken up. Thanks for watching. Bye, buddy. Watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.